It is certainly appropriate for Congress in its first 100 hours to return to the issue of Homeland Security and continue to evaluate the implementation of the 41 recommendations provided by the 9/11 Commission in July of 2004. While action has been taken over time on virtually all of them, a lot more needs to be done in the area of emergency preparedness and response, particularly communications interoperability, forcing the Department of Homeland Security to actually decide what infrastructure in our country is actually critical, to continue to strengthen border security, to continue to keep dangerous materials such as nuclear materials out of the hands of rogue elements. There are a number of ways in which we can continue to work on Homeland Security, and the 100 hours efforts by the Congress is an important first step. That said, this is an area where sustained attention needs to be done. We have to recognize that the Department of Homeland Security is still largely an ineffective organization. Its response to Hurricane Katrina showed it was the first real test of DHS, and DHS failed. And much of this is related to ineffective management systems, leadership turnover within DHS. Another dimension is the fact that largely, 3 years after its formation, DHS is significantly underfunded. The constraint for Congress is to the extent that we need to have DHS and other federal agencies do more to help strengthen our security and our national preparedness. The real question is, where is the money going to come from? And here we have a very uncertain budget environment today. We continue to have a significant federal deficit, $248 billion. Congress is rightfully applying pay-as-you-go budget rules to this year's funding. And also you have the escalating costs of operations in Afghanistan and particularly in Iraq. Ultimately, for Congress to be able to not only help the Bush administration move towards a new and balanced national security strategy, also will require a balanced investment in not only the military component of our national power, but more assertive diplomacy, public diplomacy, homeland security, better intelligence and information sharing. All of these things cost money, and ultimately for Congress not only to take action in its first 100 hours to continue to implement the 9/11 Commission recommendations to the extent that it follows that action with additional funding for DHS and other federal agencies, ultimately that money has to come from Iraq. And so ultimately you'll see that there will be a contest as the President evaluates options for Iraq. A surge in troops, additions in cost and investment in Iraq will necessarily come at the expense of the ability to add investments for Homeland Security, international affairs and foreign aid, and intelligence gathering.